Okay, folks, today we're going to talk about going to versus will. And first, let's talk about the situations in which you can use both, in which both forms have more or less the same meaning. So I might say, I think, bring this a little bit closer here. I might say, I think the Heat are going to win. Okay. Miami Heat is the basketball team in my hometown. And I can also say I think the Heat will win. Okay. There's not a really big difference between the two. Maybe the second one is a little bit more formal, but the meaning is basically the same. Okay. So that's basically when we're talking about predictions. Okay. This is predictions. When we're talking about predictions, they mean basically the same thing. Okay, going to and will mean basically the same thing when we're talking about predictions. There's not a really big difference in the meaning. Okay, all right. Now that we've got predictions out of the way, let's talk about the difference. What's the difference between the two? Okay, so this is a little bit of an oversimplification, but we can say that when we see how something is about to happen, we often use going to. Okay, so the classic example I would say, let's say that you're driving in a car and I'm in the passenger seat, and I say, "Watch out, you're going to hit that car." Okay, so it's not necessarily that it's always a warning, but the point is that you see how it's going to happen. When you see the process, when you see that the way that it's happening, we tend to use going to. Okay, watch out, you're going to hit that car. I saw how it was going to play out. So I said that you're going to hit that car, not that you will hit that car. Okay. But if something is spontaneous, if I don't see anything happening, then I'm more likely to say will. Okay. And so the classic example of that is anytime you're going to volunteer to do anything. So let's say that someone's knocking at the door and you say, "I'll get it." Okay. So let's say this is something spontaneous. Okay. Something that you don't think about too much. It just happens. You don't see the whole process behind it. You're just kind of doing it. Okay. So it's a little bit more complicated than this, but this is the basic idea, right? Something spontaneous, especially in a spontaneous situation where you offer to do it, or the other person offers to do it. You might use will, okay? And then when you see what's about to happen, you say, "Watch out," okay? Or rather, you say, "Watch out, you're gonna do something," or whatever. Okay, you say "going to." You use "going to." Okay, so that's the difference between going to and will, or at least one important difference. There might be some other situations. For example, when we say going to for like a plan, we could also use going to for a plan. But be careful because there's a difference between the present progressive, which is like if I say I'm going to the supermarket, that's the present progressive. That's not That's not going to. Going to is when we have going to plus a verb here, right? Like for example, you're going to hit that car. Okay, that's when I say going to, that's what I mean by that. I mean going to with a verb. So we can also use it for a plan, but there is a difference between using going to and the present progressive for a plant. But that's a topic for another video. So thank you very much for watching this tutorial. I hope you found it helpful. And if you did, please subscribe and all that. Also, if you've watched my other videos, you might have noticed that there were some unusual channel name changes. I was experimenting with some formats, but I've settled on English Boost. So thank you for watching English Boost. And again, please subscribe if you found the video useful. And see you next time.